own country Kerala has been facing the wrath of Mother Nature, especially in the recent past. The devastating landslide in Wayanad has completely wiped out villages, destroyed families, and posed a serious question to the people and the government of Kerala. They have to now choose between development and environment, especially in eco-sensitive zones like Wayanad. This comprehensive report brings all the angles related to this entire development. Here we are in Mundakai. This is a little away from Churamala, and what you see behind me is where the landslide got triggered first. A lot of it is covered by the mist now, the fog now, but up that hill, much higher than what you see currently, is the hill that has come crashing down. As far as you can see, you will see devastation over there. That's where the landslide got triggered. That is then washed down at a great speed, taking away several houses and villages along this stretch from Mundakai till Churamala, and killing several people, taking their lives and leaving a trail of death and destruction. Forest, what you see here, this is a reserve forest that has been devastated to a large extent. Estates have been devastated, houses have been reduced to rubble. This is the ground zero. This is the epicenter of what happened, the landslide. The landslide's epicenter is this, and this is what has caused death of so many people. And this is in an area that the government has marked as buffer zone in several places officially notified as a forest. And obviously the Mundakai town where we are standing now and Churamala have a significant human population inhabitation that has been affected. More than 200 families affected, several of them still looking for their loved ones. As we speak, excavators behind me continue the job of searching for dead bodies here, and the relatives saying that this is where their family members were, and giving them a head count, and now the rescue officials trying to look for those bodies. This LPG cylinder that you see here was something that the workers here who were staying in the houses used to cook their food. And today, that's all that remains in this house that has been completely brought to the ground. Several bodies of people who stayed in this house has been recovered already. At least 3 have been recovered from this plot. Few more expected, and that's the reason you have the excavators looking for more bodies in this house. And this is a story that repeats at multiple places, especially in Mundakai. Let me show you the area where this has happened. This is very close to ground zero, and up the hill is where the landslide has happened, and that landslide has resulted in huge rocks and a lot of soil, and also significant amount of water coming crashing down, in fact, at a great speed. And it has reduced at least couple of villages to absolute rubble. What you're seeing right now is what remains of this area, which once had houses, which once had school playgrounds, plantations, trees. All of them are now brought to the ground. What remains is these household items, which indicate that this once was a thriving human habitation, very close to the forest in the buffer zone, and also very close to the nature, which has now become a huge challenging task for people living here and the government. How does the Kerala government manage the Western Ghats here, especially in Wayanad, with landslides prone area also being very big tourist attraction? Churamala and Mundakai, 2 thriving villages with tourist homes and plantations, have been reduced to a rubble. Only ravaged household items are left to tell a story. The magnitude of the landslide that has hit Wayanad becomes only clear once you cross the stream at Churamala and head towards Mundakai. And as you start trekking, you realize the magnitude of the devastation caused by this landslide. Just see what has happened behind me. This was a village that has been reduced to rubble now. You will see a lot of houses that have been brought to the ground completely. Some of them have survived, the bigger ones, the stronger ones have survived. Several cars We don't know if they've been washed away from upstream or whether they were parked here and they've turned turtle, but houses completely demolished. These rocks were not here. The face of this region has changed. These rocks were upstream. They have come crashing down because of the landslide. These rocks, the amount of soil that's come in and the water that came in has ensured that an entire village has now been wiped out from the face of Wayanad here. This is something that both these areas have suffered, and perhaps there is no going back to what it was before the landslide. That's the kind of destruction one sees here at Mundakai. The landslide was so strong that it carried a lot of debris, including rock and water and mud, and that has devastated most of the structures here. What you're seeing here is it was a temple before, but now brought down to ground. Whatever was constructed, that has been brought down to ground. All you see is basic foundation here. The same case with two villages that have been decimated. You can see another structure that has been built with bricks over there, just brick and sheet remains there. Some houses on the verge of a collapse, a lot of land that has now been destroyed because of this landslide. And this is the scenario, whether it's Churalmala, whether it's Mundakai, all these places. This is the scenario, a lot of destruction to property. People have lost their houses completely. No trace. Perhaps if they visit again, they can't even make out where their house was standing before this landslide.
We are at Munderi in Nilambur in Malappuram district. Here from early morning for the third day, the rescue operations have begun. Team of 300 to 400 rescue personnel, including police, fire force, NDRF, volunteers and forest team are here, and they are continuing the search on the banks of Chaliyar River and on the river. The district collector, the district superintendent of police were all here leading this rescue operations. Now, this place where we are is on the banks of Chaliyar River. We can see the river in its fury here. This place is about 20 kilometers away from Mundakai, that area where the landslide has happened. Here we can see that Indigenous boats, the fire force personnel, the police as well as the NDRF are searching for remains of people in this river and on the banks of this river. That area where we are showing you right now, this morning also a body part was received from that area. Standing at the back side of Churalmala town, near the village road here, behind me we can see the damage and the destruction that has been caused by the landslide. Houses have been completely damaged. It looks like there was nothing there. I mean, it was not just one house which was there, but there were other houses also here. The locals here say that around 20 to 25 remains of people were received from this area. They found these remains in this area and it was taken out. On top of that house, a family member stood. They survived, but the father and the son was washed away. Many such stories over here where people have lost their family members, saw their loved ones being washed away in front of their eyes. Now, if you look at this, we'll think that this was a huge river with full depth and all, but the locals say that it was just a very small stream, the Chaliyar Pura, as they call it. They could just walk and cross this road. That was the situation. But look at this. Look at the destruction and the damage here right now. Completely washed away houses. About 20 to 25 bodies were recovered from this area. The search area has been divided into 6 zones, including the Punchirimattam region, Mundakai and downstream. The task before the search and rescue team is to locate the remains of the missing people. The search is not limited to Wayanad district alone, but also the neighboring Malappuram district. The search and rescue teams are also using the help of dog squads and vehicles like Hitachi and JCB to locate the remains of the people. Rescue operations are continuing on the 4th day. We are right now at Churalmala, which was one of the major damage areas. Now behind me you can see how the fire, the NDRF, the army, all these teams are on work here, hard at work with the equipments. They have brought in JCBs and Hitachis. With that, they are trying to level the land, the mud, whatever has been stuck here. They are trying to remove that and see. So many times, only when they remove these things, they will be able to find if there is there is something or if there are any remains left. So that is what is happening. Today, the Cabinet Subcommittee had decided that it will be 6 zones. Searches will be going on in 6 zones. This is one zone, and there will also be searches in Chalia River in Malappuram district and up the hill in Mundakai. There we can see that how the search operations are going on. The teams, the rescue teams are here. They are looking for it. We have also understood that cadaver dogs are also being brought in here at the moment to look for any remains. Now, the major issue was that the bridge was not there. The Bailey Bridge has been built, so from morning JCBs and other vehicles can go up. More equipments can be taken to Mundakai. It's like an entire area being almost washed away in Mundakai, complete debris.
The sniffer dogs have been put into service because the Kerala government wanted to ensure that they get some help in finding people trapped under the debris here. Sir, from morning I believe you've been at Mundakai. How many dogs were pressed into service? What have they found, sir?
Actually, we have started our work from morning 6 o'clock. So till 2 o'clock we were there in Mundakai. So 2 dogs are cadaver dogs and 1 dog is Labrador is search and rescue, which finds live humans, and we will find 4 dead bodies only, cadaver dogs. So from morning itself we have started marking 4 or 5 areas. From there we got a body of a child, and we are still marked 4 or 5 areas still is there because there is lots of difficulties there for searching and removing these concretes and big rocks are there. So we were waiting for missionaries and JCBs like that there.
Okay, what are they named, sir?
Yeah, this is Maya and that's Murphy.
Okay.
And this is Maggie.
Okay.
Yeah.
There you go, Maya, Murphy and Maggie. 3 dogs. They have managed to locate at least 5 bodies, including that of a child. Some of them have been retrieved, some have been marked, but men and material need to be moved to ensure that they retrieve those bodies. So that's the kind of search operation that's going on. Mundakai is the heart of the search operation right now. Well, it's a risky stream crossing that everyone, including the rescue workers, have to do here to get across to Mundakai. If the rain increases, the current increases, then this bridge becomes unfit to use. This has been made by DSC Kannur, more than 180 people of DSC Kannur here since yesterday, and they put up this bridge, which is now a lifeline to move men, material and relief supply to Mundakai. This is the only access to reach Mundakai right now. The current is pretty strong. It could get much stronger if it rains, but this will be the interim bridge. This will be something that will bail out this entire rescue operation till the Bailey Bridge that's being put up by the Indian Army becomes functional. That is likely to take another 12 to 18 hours. The embankment has completely collapsed, so they will have to stretch that Bailey Bridge till they reach a solid ground, and this bridge can be declared fit for use.
As the landslide washed away the bridge connecting Churalmala to Mundakai, access to Mundakai was a major issue. The Bailey Bridge constructed by the army has increased the pace of the rescue operations as heavy machinery can now be taken up to Mundakai. The biggest issue with the rescue operations in Mundakai was the access towards Mundakai. Now we can see that the Bailey Bridge is complete and the first vehicle of the army is moving from the other side of the bridge towards Mundakai. From Friday morning, it is going to be helpful. It is a huge relief as far as the rescue measures in Mundakai is concerned. This was expected to be over by afternoon on Thursday, but it got delayed due to the heavy rains that is prevailing in Churulimala. Here we can see the visuals of the first vehicle after the Bailey Bridge was completed here, was done here, going through the other side. So these are the visuals that we are seeing here. Let me just show around Churulimala where we are standing right now. This is the place where the landslide hit on top and came and fell down. This is one of the places which had the maximum impact. You can see the houses on the other end which has been completely damaged. This is where the river had split into two and it started flowing as two streams. On the right hand side is Mundakai. Up this road is Mundakai. That is the hill top there. That is where the major damage had happened. An entire village has been washed away. To that extent, we can say that was the damage.
इस ब्रिज के बारे में बताइए मैम, कितना मुश्किल था ये डालना और कितनी दिन और परहैप्स कितने साल ये चल सकता है, रह सकता है, इधर यूज़ किया जाएगा मैम?
ओके, डिफ़िकल्टीज़ जैसे कि मैंने बताया, ये ब्रिज लॉन्च करने के टाइम पे ये आया था क्योंकि सबसे पहले जो सामान यहाँ तक आता है तो वो सामान यहाँ तक आने के लिए काफ़ी मुश्किलात हो गया बिकॉज ऑफ हेवी ट्रैफिक, बिकॉज जितना भी मूवमेंट एक सिंगल रोड से था। एंड देन ये ब्रिज लॉन्च करने के लिए जो भी स्पेस हमें चाहिए होता है वो स्पेस काफ़ी रेस्ट्रिक्टेड था, बट हमारे लोगों ने काफ़ी मेहनत के साथ मुश्किल हालात में विद द कंटिन्यूस रेन एंड ऑल दिस डिफ़िकल्टीज आवर टीम कुड have completed this task.
While the rescue and search operation continued, the scenes at the makeshift mortuary in Mepadi was heartbreaking, with relatives looking for the bodies of their loved ones. We are coming to you from the CHC here in Mepadi. Absolutely heart-wrenching scenes here. More than 94 bodies have been brought here. This is the Abdul Kalam Community Hall outside the CHC, the community center here, health community center here, which has been made into a makeshift mortuary for relatives to identify the dead bodies here. More than 94 bodies brought in since yesterday. Another 32 expected in the next 1 hour or so. 32 bodies have been recovered at Nilambur. Another 25 body parts have been recovered by the rescue and search team at Nilambur. All of them will be brought in here for post-mortem and then identification. Every minute you see ambulances bringing in dead bodies, families, distraught families, identifying and claiming the dead bodies and moving away from here. We in fact have one person from Churulimala. In his family, he's lost 11 people total, including his wife and relatives and others. 9 yet to be identified.
Actually, yeah, we have to 9 yet to be identified. That one child body is already identified. That got from Nilambur. So rest 8 people have to be identified.
So, tell us where they're staying together. Where were they in Churulimala or Nilambur? And
they stayed together actually. It's a nearby houses only.
Although the focus right now is on the rescue and relief operation, there are questions that need to be raised in the coming few days. Did the rampant, unplanned commercialization for tourism result in destruction of Wayanad, making it landslide prone? Look at what's behind me. This is a small hill here, and you have a resort kind of a establishment that's come up. Trees have been chopped so that these cottages have an unobstructed view of the stream that's right next to it, the valley and the other hills around it. What it essentially means, this development has meant that trees have been chopped and then perhaps pillars have been put up so that this is a strong structure. In all this, the stability of this hill might have been compromised, the soil might have become loose, and this is something that we have seen at multiple places. Did the local administration here, whether the panchayat or the government at large, have any sort of a study on what is the carrying capacity of Wayanad? Geologically, these hills are classified as young. They don't have big boulders or big stones like we see in several other hills. This is largely soil that has made up this hill, and many say many of these hills are not really strong, and that's why when you have this kind of a development, it becomes all the more dangerous. Even as ecology groups claim that they had warned the Kerala government about possible landslides in this region, and the union government accused the state government of not taking the union government's alerts seriously, the state government has hit back.
What is the latest updates as far as the landslide in Wayanad is concerned?
See, landslides occurred early in the morning around 3 a.m. and Honorable Chief Minister has given instructions and he is overseeing the situation. And state control room is opened in the police headquarters. It's open, and also in health department we do have state control rooms. Revenue Minister, PWD Minister, and also Minister in charge of the Wayanad District SCST department. He is also joining. He will be reaching there soon, and Minister A.K. Shashindran has already reached there.
What is the total death toll at this moment?
That's exactly because I am talking about the number of injured people and the dead bodies in the hospitals. So the other thing that the district administration will be
So
giving.
as of now, the bodies is 24.
Yes, in the hospitals, yes. Yes.
And what is the situation of the NDRF teams there, the rescue?
NDRF team is there, and also other NDRF teams from other districts will also be joining them soon.
So the access is a major issue that we are facing at the moment. The access to this main area is the issue.
Yes, that's a real challenge, and we are trying to establish it temporarily.
And how many more are feared trapped under these?
Hundreds are trapped, and so that the exact numbers, the district administration I think has already revealed the numbers, but hundreds are trapped there.
At time of tragedies like the Wayanad landslide, there are a lot of losses, but then there are also some heroes like Shahna, who has shown resilience, guts, not just saved herself and her mother, but also two young children who had actually washed away and was brought near their house. Shahna, അന്ന് രാത്രിയിൽ എന്താണ് സംഭവിച്ചത്?
അത് കഴിഞ്ഞിട്ട് നമ്മൾ എന്ത് ചെയ്തു, അവിടെ ജീവനുള്ള കുറച്ച് ആൾക്കാർ രക്ഷപ്പെട്ടു പോകുന്നുണ്ട്. അപ്പോൾ ഞാനും വെച്ച് ഉറക്കെ വിളിച്ചു ചോദിച്ചു, ഞങ്ങൾക്ക് രക്ഷപ്പെടാൻ പറ്റുമോ? ഞങ്ങൾ വിളിച്ചു ചോദിച്ചു ഉറക്കെ. അപ്പോൾ ഞാൻ ഉമ്മച്ചിൻ്റെ കൈയും പിടിച്ചിട്ട് ഇറങ്ങി. ഒരു 4 സ്റ്റെപ്പൊക്കെ ഉണ്ടായിട്ടുള്ളൂ. ആ സ്റ്റെപ്പ് ഇറങ്ങിയതും ഞങ്ങൾ ചളിയിക്കാണ് വീഴുന്നത്. ആ ചളിയിൽ നിന്ന് വീടിനുള്ളിലൊക്കെ ചളിയാണ്. ആ ചളിയിൽ നിന്ന് വീട് പൊളിഞ്ഞതും കൊണ്ടൊരു ഓട്ട പോലെ ഉള്ളതും കൊണ്ട് ആ ഓട്ടൻ്റെ ഉള്ളിൽ കൂടെ ഞങ്ങൾ പുറത്തെത്തി. ആ മോനെയും പിടിച്ചു.
Explaining at that stage, they saw a couple of people who were alive trying to walk out and save themselves. So they tried to come down from their balcony. Their house was already falling down, and when they reached down, there was a small gap. So they walked through that gap, and when she came out, she actually held on to that 6-year-old boy who was there, who was washed out and who had come there. And then they saw another boy coming down. Her mother held on to that boy. That boy was actually a relative of theirs. So what she was just explaining to us is that she couldn't hold this boy because she knows it's slippery and there's a lot of sludge. So she asked the boy to hold on to her pants and her legs so that she could so that he could come with her, and she kept telling him not to leave her. She made her mother and the other child walk in front. Then she, along with the other 6-year-old. After the rescue efforts are over, the Kerala government has a humongous task ahead of them. The rehabilitation of these people. It's not just loss of lives, but also loss of homes and livelihood. The state also needs to find long-term solutions to these recurring incidents. sustainable development is a way ahead, and there needs to be a balance between booming tourism industry and preserving ecologically sensitive areas.